filming on a phone. More specifically, this phone, the iPhone XS Max. I've had this phone for about just over 2 years, I believe, and it's one hell of a phone. I really like it. The cameras on it are fantastic. Nowhere near as good as some of the more newer models, but still a great phone nonetheless. Phones these days are getting more and more incredible. In fact, just a few days ago, Apple announced the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro, which are featuring some awesome new camera specs, and the Pro in particular got some really nice upgrades. For one, you get Pro RAW photography as well as 4K HDR 10-bit video. Can I just repeat that one more time? 4K 10-bit HDR video. Dolby HDR, by the way. For those that don't know how much of a big deal that is, for that on something this big, some of the most high-end cinema cameras don't even have those kind of features. So this being in a phone is a pretty big deal. And with all the new features coming out on these new phones, it really got me thinking about what is possible with this thing here, with the phones we carry around with us on a day-to-day basis. I get a lot of questions asked about what kind of gear do I need to film a YouTube video? What kind of lenses do I need? What kind of camera, sensor, resolution, all that fun stuff. And all of this new stuff coming into these little devices got me thinking whether or not we actually need these things. Do I think that phones are getting so good nowadays that we don't need mirrorless or DSLR video cameras? I wouldn't say just yet, but they are getting very close. The gap is being bridged every single day, and some of the stuff that's being done for these devices is truly amazing, and it's some of the things in these phones you don't see in some high-end cinema cameras, which blows my mind. But with that said, can you use a phone to shoot YouTube videos? And the obvious question to that is yes. So today I thought I would jump in and show you guys how you can do that, and some things you can get if you're looking to start off making videos for your YouTube channel, but you don't want to spend an awful lot of money buying a new camera and lens and adopting all this gear when you just have what's in your pocket to shoot your videos. I wanted to see if all of it was possible and it was achievable, so I went shopping for a few pieces of gear that I think you guys might be interested in having. I started off by going down the audio route, and I picked up a couple of really cool audio accessories that you can use to improve the audio quality if you're using your phone to film YouTube videos. I started off my shopping spree by going and checking out the audio options you can have for your phone, and I picked up a really couple of cool microphones that you guys can get for relatively cheap. Quick disclaimer, I do have to mention I do use an iPhone, so a lot of the devices and the accessories that I've bought for this video are in that ecosystem. They are for that phone in particular, but you'll be happy to know that a lot of the devices that I've bought do have Android alternatives. They are compatible with other devices and smartphones on the market, so I've linked them down in the description below. In fact, I've linked everything I mention in this video down in the description below, so if you want to check them out, feel free to give them a look. But with that said and done, I went out and bought two microphones that I thought would fit the bill for most content going up on YouTube, and I started off with the first one, and that is the Rode SmartLav Plus. In the box you get the microphone, a windshield, as well as a really nice small Rode branded leather pouch that you can use to store the microphone, as well as any other accessories you might need for it. This is a really handy small lapel microphone that you can clip onto your shirt or onto your jacket and then plug straight into your phone if your phone still has the 3.5mm jack. Now unfortunately, a lot of phones nowadays don't actually come with headphone adapters on their phones. However, I did buy the Apple Lightning to 3.5mm jack converter, and you'll be surprised actually, I went on Amazon, it was the cheapest one on there. So if you don't have an iPhone without a headphone jack, just get the Apple one, because it appeared to be the cheapest, so that surprised me. This just plugs straight into your phone, and you can then use the Rode Reporter app to use the microphone as a different microphone. You can use it to record weddings or record some audio if your camera is a lot further away and you want to get some real crisp audio, or you can plug it in and use the camera app on your phone and have your video and audio recorded together as a single clip. The second mic is the Rode Video Mic, hold on a second, the Video Mic MEL, which is a microphone which has a lightning connector, so you can just plug the microphone straight into your iPhone using the lightning connector. In the box you get the mic itself, a pretty obnoxious and quite large windshield, as well as a small stand that you can use to prop up the phone if you are recording vertical video. Now, this particular version of the microphone is just for iPhones with a Lightning connector. However, on Amazon, they do sell the non-Lightning version, which plugs straight into a 3.5mm headphone jack. So if you do have one of those and you want to pick one of these up, that's the one I would recommend. But the main things I like about this microphone is that it's small, it's compact, and you can use it for vlogging. You can go out and about and use your phone to record some video and get some really clean audio with it. Two different kinds of microphones for two completely different reasons, and so I thought as a comparison I would plug both of these microphones into my phone and then record some video and show you guys what that footage looks like and sounds like using the built-in camera app. And to test out the audio quality, I thought I would take the opportunity to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is Nerd or Die. If you guys are live streamers and you're looking for an excellent design for your stream so you can focus on making the best content you possibly can, then Nerd or Die is the place to go. From banners to panels to webcam animations to alerts and starting soon screens and a whole lot more. And along with the huge collection of designs already on their website, you can go ahead and download the After Effects source files for each overlay, and you can tweak it to get exactly the look that you're after. So go ahead, check them out, use the link down in the description below. That link also helps support the channel as well, by the way. And if you want to save a bit of money, make sure you use code SAM for a very cheeky 15% off at checkout. So there you go, that's what the two microphones sound like on the phone. Let's jump on over and talk about how to set up your phone to actually start filming these videos. For one, you can absolutely use the built-in camera app on the phone. You can get some really cool results from using the basic app like that, but I would recommend doing a few things first. The first thing I would actually recommend doing to start off with is actually investing in some high-end lighting, some nice LED panel lighting. I actually did a video going over the different kinds of lighting and some really cool budget options that you guys can get. I'll link that video up here. But go ahead and get yourself some proper lighting. It is the most critical thing when it comes to filming videos. Good lighting can make any camera look incredible, even $50 webcams. Trust me. I also then recommend using as many manual controls as you can with your phone. So tapping and holding on an area of your phone will cause the camera to lock the exposure and lock the focus, so it won't go into random auto exposure moments. It won't try and focus on objects nearby or far away. It is locked to you and you alone. I recommend locking it onto your face for the perfect exposure for that area. You can dial in your lights as and when you need to from there on. And depending on the quality of the back and the front cameras, I highly recommend picking the one that has the highest quality you possibly can get. So make your choice and make your decision using your own phone. Decide what you think looks best and then go from there. On the iPhone, you have a choice between most compatible and high efficiency recording formats. I recommend picking the most compatible when it comes to shooting on an iPhone, because some video editing applications won't actually read the high efficiency codec that the iPhone creates. So just bear that in mind if you are going to be shooting on an iPhone. Pick most compatible. So let's jump in now and talk about resolution for your cameras. And most phones nowadays can shoot in 4K, and it really comes down to you and your workflow and the kind of videos you're making if you want to shoot in 4K and then edit in 4K as well. If you want to shoot in 4K, just remember that the file sizes are going to be a little bit larger and a little more elaborate when it comes to editing as well. It's going to take more time to render and export, so bear that in mind if you want to shoot your videos in 4K on your phone. I usually go between the 4K 30 or the 1080p 30 on my iPhone, depending on the project that I'm working on. And if you want that crispy, slow motion footage that you see an awful lot, I recommend shooting in 1080p 60, because 4K 60 will encode your video in that high efficiency format that we talked about earlier. Now, that's the basics done. Let's jump into the more professional side of filming YouTube videos and a couple of things you can get to take your videos to the next level. There is this amazing app that you can download for the iPhone and for Android devices, and it's called Filmic Pro. And some of the features in this app really boggle the mind in terms of how and why you would need them on a phone, but the fact they are there really impresses me. It has features like audio monitoring, it has zoom and focus controls, it has focus peaking, it has false color, it even gives you the ability to shoot in a log format. Yeah, log on a phone. And for those that don't know what the hell log is, essentially in its most basic form, log is a flat picture profile that gives you the most dynamic range in the image as possible. For example, I shoot my videos in log. this is what it looks like without any color corrections applied to the image and what it looks like as I'm shooting this video right now. However, when I color grade this, or actually when Scott color grades and color corrects this into the proper format, this is what the image looks like once it's done that process. It gives you the most flexibility in post when it comes to shadows and highlights, and allows you to squeeze as much as you can out of the image when it comes to bit depth and bit information. And that's the basics. There's a lot more to it than that, but I thought I would just glaze over that topic pretty quickly for those that didn't know what the hell I was talking about. And there's tons of features packed into this small app. I paid $14.99 for the app itself, and then I paid an extra $14.99 for a cinematographer kit, which gave you the log controls and a couple of extra little features that you didn't get with the app. If you don't need those features, you don't buy that particular part of the bundle. But $14.99 for an app that gives you this many features is pretty incredible. So for about $30, you can get a pretty high-end camera control app that has some of the features that are available in professional cinema cameras. In fact, not every professional cinema camera has these features, so for $30 you're getting a steal. So go check them out. I've left a link to them in the description down below as well. Go check it out and just be amazed by what you can do on a phone nowadays. And the next thing, I really don't think you need. I really don't think you need this, but I got it anyway. I got a gimbal. I bought a gimbal for my phone, and it's pretty cool. I wanted to give it a go, and I wanted to see if I could get some really cool cinematic shots and see if I could make something really, really cool like the thing you saw at the beginning of this video. It's called the Hoheim iSteady Mobile, and it was about $80 or £60 thereabouts on Amazon. I've left a link to that down below in the description too, by the way, and it's pretty decent for what it is and for what I paid for it. Let me go grab it. Hang on a second. I mean, it's a pretty good looking gimbal. It looks legit. I mean, let's see what it looks like with the phone. Turn it on. There we go. I don't think I would personally recommend it. It's pretty much the first gimbal I bought for an iPhone, or at least a smartphone in general. I'd maybe go for something like the DJI mobile that they sell. But I think if you're looking for a cheap little gimbal to use to make YouTube videos with, and you're not worried so much about the brand or about it breaking at some point, it's not a bad little solution. But would I say, is it necessary to start off making videos with? No, not at all. This is definitely overkill when you're first starting out, but I thought I'd give it a little go, see what kind of things you can make for it. If you guys want to check it out, I'll have the link down to it in the description below as well, but it's pretty cool for what it is. But in summary, let's actually find out what it looks like to use an iPhone with the Filmic Pro app and one of the microphones that we showed off to actually film a YouTube video and see what kind of quality we can get out of it. So here we go. This is what it looks like using the iPhone with the front-facing camera and the Filmic Pro app, as well as using the Rode SmartLav Plus plug straight into the iPhone for audio. And I think personally, for most YouTube videos, especially if you're starting out in the YouTube game, I think this is actually a pretty damn good looking shot when it comes to quality, sound, visual. We're actually shooting in log right now using the Filmic Pro app, and you can kind of see before and after what it looks like. And once we color grade and color correct this in post-production, and kind of see what kind of quality we're dealing with here. We are shooting in 1080p, and of course once you put some audio effects like an EQ, compressor and noise gate on this microphone, you will have a pretty solid setup when it comes to filming videos for YouTube. And I think personally, when it comes to this setup and what you can achieve with this, you can even buy additional lenses for the iPhone to take more advantage of wider angle lenses for this camera and for this phone, along with other smartphones as well. Not to mention you have a lot of accessories when it comes to the gimbal and tripods and things like that. And I think it really opens up a lot of opportunities for people that want to get into filmmaking and get into doing stuff for YouTube and creating stuff on a very minimal budget. Everybody has a smartphone capable of this kind of quality, and I think paired with the right accessories and the right tools, I think we can make some really cool stuff. So there you go, that's a comparison between all the things we shot on today with the audio and all that, so you guys can get a feel, get a look, get a see into what kind of quality you can get using your smartphone for YouTube videos. And that is pretty much everything, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video or indeed found it helpful, then be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions about the things I mentioned, you want to go into more detail about what I talked about, then I do stream every single Tuesday and Thursday over on Twitch. The link to my channel is down in the description below, so feel free to pop by whenever I'm live and ask away. Or if you want to ask any questions to the larger community and get more of an insight from more people, then be sure to join the Discord. The link for that is also down in the description down below. And with all that said and done, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, take care.